Steve, look! I got a package! Isn't that exciting?
I want a package.
Yay, package.
Can we set it on fire?
No? Alright, super fast ASMR unboxing. Pretty sure I know what this is. It's a Powkiddy. Alright, so we have the RGB10x model, and it should be, it's yellow! I'm excited about that. Got our SD card, we have a 128, and lots of instructions that I'm not gonna read. You can read them though if you would like. Fun cat toy. Hat? I don't know. And before I show you the device, and one USB-C to USB-A cord. Ta-da! All right, not exciting. Let's get to the exciting part. This is the exciting part. Woo! Wow, look at the yellow on that. That's awesome. And scary all at the same time. But mostly awesome. I'm going to go with awesome. Cool. Okay, so... Oh, there is 2 SD card slots. I thought there was only 1. So here is the OS. I just want to show you that. As I have it upside down. TF OS. And then TF Game. And that's where we're going to put this little guy in. So the buttons are nice. They're big. They're kind of, you know, they're similar to what Powkiddy does. They're basically the same buttons as what's on the 20SX. Yeah, they feel identical. So, and then we got the start and select on here. We have one stick, one little joystick. I'm okay with this because of what is going to be playing on this system. You're not going to be playing a whole lot of things. So when you do use this, it's not going to be, you know, you don't need 2 of them unless you're looking at doing N64, which I would probably maybe even scare you away from this device. So unless you need it, but D-pad is up here. Actually, it's a little bit different of a D-pad from the 20SX. So here is the 20SX. It's a little bit like curved on the ends, in the middle. It curves into the middle a little bit. It's a little thunky. It's not, I mean, it's squishy. It's nice. It feels, honestly, this kind of just feels a little bit like a worn-in controller that you've been jamming on for years and years. These are a little loud. So I'm wondering what these are because on the V10, these were really the start and select and volume buttons and weird things, but we have start and select right here. The speaker is right here. There is one mono speaker. These are vents, I believe. We got your OTG port. We have a headset jack. On the side, I already showed you that. On the back, this is made by the X-Men. I don't know if you know that. Yeah, I don't mind it. You're gonna be looking at the front. Who cares about the back, right? The top, the shoulder buttons are thunky. And again, these are going to be these are going to be buttons just like the joystick. What the games that you're going to be playing on the system, on this device, you're not going to really need it. You're really not. Here's the charging port. Up here is, there we go. Reset button. Volume up, volume down, and that is the power button. These are magical weird buttons, so we'll see what these are. Oh, that's weird. It would not turn on, and the battery says that it's at 72. You're not still charging. Oh, now it's going to go down to 24. Okay, anyway, we'll see if it just dies here in a second. But cool thing is, not that, but that this is running ArcOS. So ArcOS is actually a very well recognized operating system that I've done at least one tutorial on it, and it's all pretty much the same. The battery is just draining, which, I mean, I get it because it probably doesn't have much charge. Still saying that it's charging, but now it's down to 19%. Oh, 18 now. Oh, it stopped charging in my hand. It's not terrible. It actually kind of reminds me of the Anbernic 35XXH, even though this one's a little bit heavier. The 10X it's very cheap feeling. It's very plasticky. It's light, so that's cool. We have some button rattling going on. So before we turn it on, let's quickly check out the stats on it. The 10X has a 3.5-inch IPS screen at 4:3 aspect ratio with 480 by 320 resolution. Keep in mind, this is a budget device. There is an A35 chip in it with 1 gig of RAM. The battery is at 2800 milliamps. Make sure you charge this with a 5-volt, no super fast bricks for this. Also, a big note is this does not have Wi-Fi. And while we're talking about the specs, here we have the Lit NXT site. And thank you to Lit NXT for sending me this device for review. All opinions are my own. They didn't see this video beforehand, and no money was exchanged in any way. So you can see here is the yellow device that I have, and it also comes in transparent black, and the whole thing is black, even the buttons. And there is a gray version, which isn't really gray, it's more of a white, but it has the SNES button, so that looks kind of sharp. I almost picked this color, but I wanted to go for the yellow, just because, why not? I don't have a yellow device. So you can also get this in a 64 gig version, and right now that's $65 US. You can also get it for $5 more as 128 gig, and that's double the size, so you get a lot more, and you'll have a lot of things to play. You can also get a case. They sell those as well on the site, and a screen protector. And if you use my code, I'll throw that up on the screen. That actually gives you 10% off. And Lit NXT also does free global shipping, which is awesome because a lot of manufacturers actually don't give you free global shipping, so keep that in mind.
Site, and
again, thank you,
if
Lit
you
NXT.
use my code,
So we'll do a quick size comparison. One cool thing that you can see, this is actually a screensaver. You can change this in the ArcOS settings, but I love this because hundreds upon thousands of games on one of these devices when you get them, and sometimes you just don't know exactly what to play. You can actually just go right into that game. You know, it's very similar to what the 35XXH, I mean, it's almost the same size. Yeah, it's, the H is like just, I think, a hair shorter. And this isn't really, you know, quality control issue, but this D-pad is going to move. That's just how it's going to work. It's going to move when you play it. Again, this is a budget device. This is something that you're just going to throw in a bag or your pocket and just jam on it when you're out running errands. And this, if it's your first handheld, cool. If it's just kind of like your beater handheld that you just, you know, have with you, then you don't need it to be absolutely premium, because if you take it out of your pocket or your bag and maybe the screen gets scratched up or it bounces or something like that, and, you know, breaks or whatever, gets all scratched up. Actually, before we get into gameplay, for anybody out there, I will show you the settings really quick. You can see running through, here's all the games list. You can see there's the options, and there's a couple different things that you can do in here. You can go into File Manager. If you hit Start, Start is going to take you into the emulation station, and this is the big menu where you're going to go through, and if you want to set up any shaders and things like that, you know, you can go through and you can curate everything. Or you can just kind of leave it as is, because, I mean, it's already using ArcOS. This isn't a stock firmware. This is more of a custom firmware, so you don't even have to do much of anything. Select just brings you into the screensaver mode. So if you just want to, maybe you want to have just this on your desk and you just want it to go into screensaver mode. There you go. Ta-da. And it's just going to do things, and you can turn up the volume or turn it down, and then say, hey, you want to play this game, then you would just hit the A button and go in there. So, okay, so something, and I never look at the manual, but something I did want to show you. The plus and minus buttons on here, these buttons, the plus and the minus up here, these are actually function buttons, and it looks like they're function buttons for like save states and presets and things like that. So in here, and I know this is probably not a very good picture because this paper is very thin, but you can see that you press the key and A, and you can hit pause, and then, you know, you can do something with B, and it looks like it displays this frame rate, and so on and so forth. So if you do get this device, I never tell you to do this, but definitely check this section out where it says function introduction, and there's just a little section right here that will show you. And that's kind of cool, because then you don't have to go through, you have button mapping already set up, so you can save states and do, you know, do all sorts of things. So that's kind of neat. One cool thing about arcade games, especially for this system, you can use the D-pad or you can use the joystick. And again, this joystick is not, you know, anything to scream about, but it's there. Anybody that doesn't know, to mimic a coin out there, you hit the select button. Some of the games you can go up to like 30, 40 coins, and some of them you just have to go up to 9. The D-pad kind of bottoms out here. I mean, it's kind of flush. You know, you can see that it's concave in the middle. You know, it dips down just a little bit, and when you press down on one angle, I mean, you can see that it kind of just goes into the case just a little bit. It's almost flush with the case, which isn't terrible, but just be aware of that. So if you think that you're going to get like some sort of premium, amazing D-pad experience, you're not. Again, this is a very cheap budget handheld, and I'm okay with it. Oh, there we go. Okay, so to get out of a game, you hit minus and start, and you'll have to hit start twice, and then you can get out of a game. But like I said, all this stuff is scraped because it's Arc OS, so you don't even have to do anything. This is a very plug and play, awesome user experience right out of the box. So if you wanted to get this for somebody, I mean, this is a great, I would say this is a great stocking stuffer, you know, Christmas gift. Christmas is right around the corner. Aladdin's a go-to for me because I've played it a bazillion times and kind of know what to expect from the D-pad. And so far, I mean, other than it just feeling like it bottoms out, it's not a bad experience by any means. I mean, you can see that I'm doing pretty decently, and it's not like it skips. It's not like it's giving any sort of false inputs. Okay, I'm having fun with this. I really am. I could play this all day, so we're gonna stop. Oh, and the joystick works. Sometimes you'll get that. So if you've ever wanted to play any of these games with a joystick, you can do that. And just to get in the Halloween spirit, let's play a little Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Okay, so you're going to have to monkey around with the L2 and R2 buttons. And then if you wanted to, you can play full screen on DS. This isn't going to be great, but at least the joystick is the pen. Should you need the pen for any games that you want to put on here. Yeah, it's a little slow. It's a little sluggish for DS. So I might not... yeah, I might not recommend this for DS. If you do happen to get any DS games running on here, this is going to be, you know, I'd consider them as more bonus. It actually doesn't look that bad when I'm looking at the camera, but I don't know, it feels a little sluggish to me. I mean, this would make a really great Game Boy Advance machine. Most of these little devices do. So if you're a huge fan of Game Boy Advance, you might want to consider this. Also, I love this game. It always reminds me of Lilo and Stitch, and the alien is Stitch, and Stitch has gone mad, basically, in this game. PS1, it should play probably really everything pretty decently, I would say. Now again, your mileage might vary with N64. I would think of this as sort of a bonus system. What you get to play on here, you know, it won't be everything, but you might be able to get a few games on here. So I'm not going to be testing any Mario on here just because I don't want the Nintendo ninjas to, you know, do bad things. And you'll actually, if you bought this, you'll actually see that all the Mario is actually removed. So, all right. And the last system we are going to test is PSP. Notice, do you see how there are only really a handful of games on here? So I'm going to test Metal Slug, and it's probably going to run pretty okay, but this is not a PSP machine by any means. Again, with N64, same thing with PSP. What you are going to get running is it's going to be probably few and far between. You definitely are not going to be able to play God of War, Chains of Olympus, or Ghost of Sparta. So don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. I mean, it seems like it's running. This is also one of the lower games. So if Metal Slug doesn't work, then that's usually a really bad sign. So, you know, you might be able to get a handful of games to play on here. But again, notice the letterboxing. I mean, you're going to get pretty big bezels on the top and the bottom, unless you want to stretch it out and do full screen. And apparently I die when I talk at the same time that I'm playing a game that I've played for thousands of times. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad for PSP. Metal Slug is probably one of the few games that I would want to play on one of these for PSP, knowing that it's a budget handheld. I didn't even see Tekken on there, so we won't be testing Tekken, unfortunately. But now, just to show you really quick, when you press the minus and the start, it's going to bring you into this menu. We can actually go into, as I press the wrong button, hit display settings, and so it's on wide right now. And then we can do, let's try 4:3, since it's a 4:3 screen, and that changes it a little bit. Let's hit clear. Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, the 4:3. Okay, so the 4:3 throws some bezels on the side. And then the clear makes it really tiny. Really, really tiny. Okay, so, yeah. So for you know, you guys out there that you want PSP to be awesome and perfect, this is not by any means, like I said, a PSP machine. So, and going to 4:3 or even just clearing out all of those and going to a little tiny screen, that's not going to be great. And hitting start and plus actually gets you to the PPSSPP menu. So you can go in here and probably change some stuff out. If you are in the market for a budget handheld, you don't mind some of the shortcomings that I've mentioned. You know, it rattles, it's not perfect, it only has one speaker. The screen resolution it's okay. And if you're not looking, the big thing is if you're not looking to play anything really higher than you know, PS1 or DS, knowing that you can play some games out of those systems like N64 and PSP, but you're not going to get fantastic performance. You know, so take all of that with a grain of salt. It's really, you know, with all that being said, it's not a bad device. It really isn't. For somebody that you're looking to get a retro handheld, I don't see why this wouldn't be a good device. It's pretty decent. You know, and the price point, I mean, it's a budget handheld. Right now you can get it for around $60, you know, with a coupon code. This might make a good Christmas present for somebody. This could make a good pocket device for anybody that, you know, say you have a bigger device that you don't feel like carrying around. Throw this in a backpack, that sort of thing. So it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Are there better devices out there? Sure, but there always is. Are there worse devices? Yes. Yes, there are. So, you know, keep that in mind. You know, it's a budget device, and it isn't bad for what you're getting. That's my review, and take that with what you will. Let me know in the comments below, you know, what you're thinking. If you're thinking about picking the 10X up, or if you're going to pass, or if you have questions, things like that. So definitely let me know.
Okay, let me guess again. It's a bag of drugs, right?
No, it's not. It's not anything bad, Steve. My goodness. It's just a handheld. As always, thanks for watching. Stay awesome, everyone, and go play some games.